7 years ago, life felt steady, almost predictable. I believed I was happy, content with the routine I had built. At the heart of it all was my wife, Sarah. I thought she was my partner, the one who shared my dreams and hopes. But one evening shattered that belief completely. I can still picture it. The kitchen dimly lit, the heavy summer air pressing in. She stirred her tea absent-mindedly, not meeting my eyes, her face distant and unreadable. Then came the words that sliced at me like a blade. "I wish you'd just disappear." No anger, no fight, just an empty statement delivered with chilling calm. For a moment, I wanted to argue, to fight for what we had. But her silence, her detachment, told me it was already over. The woman I thought I knew had drifted away long before that night. Slowly, I began to fade too, not physically, but within. I stopped investing myself in her moods and cutting remarks. Instead, I turned my energy inward. I left home before she woke and returned long after she was asleep. In those hours, I began building a new version of myself. At first, it was only a way to survive, but with time, it became transformation. I pushed myself into challenges I once feared, poured effort into learning, traveling, and meeting people who expanded my perspective. Places I had only dreamed became reality. Strangers became mentors, allies, and friends. I gained skills, wealth, and a life that stretched far beyond her narrow world. Meanwhile, Sarah carried herself as if she had defeated me. She laughed louder, walked prouder, and acted as though I was nothing without her. What she didn't realize was that my silence wasn't surrender, it was preparation. 7 years passed. 7 years of rebuilding, of becoming someone unrecognizable to the man she left behind. Then fate placed us in the same space again. I had returned to our hometown for work, with no thought of her. I was outside a cafe, reviewing documents, when I felt a familiar gaze. I looked up, and there she was across the street, frozen in place. Shock painted her face, her lips parted, her eyes wide. The man she had once wished away wasn't gone. He had evolved into someone stronger, sharper, untouchable. She stood still, as if the ground had shifted beneath her. Almost unwillingly, she moved toward me. "Daniel," she whispered, my name trembling on her lips. She searched my face, desperate to find traces of the man she once knew. But he no longer existed. I had been remade. Then another man appeared beside her. Her partner now, I assumed. He sensed attention and straightened. But to me he was irrelevant, a mere shadow in the background. "You've changed," she stammered, her voice unsteady. "You look successful." I allowed myself a faint smile. "There's a lot you never knew." Something flickered in her eyes, a mix of awe and regret. She tried to stand firm, but her trembling hand betrayed her. What have you been doing all this time?" she asked. I leaned casually against a lamp-post and offered nothing but silence. In that silence, she seemed to understand. The years hadn't destroyed me. They had forged me. Her composure began to crumble. I didn't realize what I lost," she admitted, her voice breaking. But her words no longer held any weight. Once, they might have swayed me. Now they meant nothing. "I survived without you," I said evenly. The truth struck her harder than anger ever could. Her face faltered with fear, not of me, but the life she had thrown away, the future she could never reclaim. "You've done all this without me," she whispered. I nodded. "Without your doubts, without your judgment, without your betrayal. And I'm better for it." For a fleeting moment, I thought I saw the woman I once loved, the one who laughed freely and promised forever. But that woman was long gone. What stood before me was only a shell, weighed down by regret. She lowered her head. "I don't know what to say." "You don't need to say anything," I replied. "This isn't about words. It's about truth. I build a life while you chase illusions. I became stronger, happier, unstoppable. And you only realize too late what you let slip away." Her silence was the only answer left. Whatever power she once held over me had vanished. Not through revenge, but through the life I had chosen to create without her. As she walked away, head bowed, I felt no bitterness, no satisfaction in her regret. only peace. 7 years of absence had led to this moment. Proof that the best revenge isn't retaliation. It's living a life so full that those who try to diminish you can never touch it again. The man she once wished would disappear was gone. In his place stood someone far greater.